Let me start by thanking ERPIC for the opportunity to discuss the Greek oil and gas fields, as well as the role of the Greek companies in the past 6 months in terms of exploiting the reserves that lie in the East Med basin. Obviously, this is a very wide region, and some Greek companies play some role in that, and we'll discuss it, especially in the Israeli gas fields. Let me start by saying that the Greek energy sector has continued its growth process during the whole of 2018, and the developments, as I said in my introduction, lie mainly in two fields. The first is the internal market, and in the internal market, the consortium of Total, Exxon, and LP has won the Cretan blocks, while the consortium of Repsol and LP again has won the Ionian block, and they have made significant steps in moving forward the process of developing those fields. The active presence of major American and European companies does highlight the prospects of the Greek fields and the dynamic of this area as an alternative to the politically unstable and hostile existing resources that supply Europe. We understand, all of us, that European policy dictates that we try to diversify as much as we can our sources, obviously within the market framework and the price pressures. In terms of the second pillar of our discussion, Energean oil and gas is deepening its presence in the Israeli fields, advancing with its strategic plan, and the Israeli-Greek cooperation in energy issues is strengthened by the fact that Energean has proven a very reliable partner of the Israeli state in terms of exploiting and pushing forward the use of the fields that it has already been awarded, as well as participating in the process of the 5 plots that were awarded to the company, and will start the process of exploiting those plots as well. Now, the latest updates in the Hellenic basin, as well as the prospects in Greece. There are many challenges that the oil industry faces, and especially LP, which is a Greek incumbent oil corporation, and it's a company that mainly drives the creation of consortia which undertake the responsibility for exploiting the Greek plots. Now, the main challenges are, obviously, on one hand, we have a very promising acreages, a frontier area in many parts of Greece, and the fiscal terms are very competitive and attractive for investments in hydrocarbons exploration and production industry. On the other hand, however, these offshore fields, especially in the south and southwest of Crete, display a very complex geological history and are located in ultra-deep waters. Basically, the depths exceed 3,000 meters in most of this area. So this means that very deep wells are required, and correspondingly, the cost of both prospecting and finding out whether there are any fields there, and as well exploiting afterwards those fields, is significant. The Ionian block, on the other hand, this is in the southwest of Corfu, the Corfu island, which is in the north of Greece, northwest of Greece, covers an extensive offshore area of 6,600 square kilometers, and has an average water depth of around 1,300 to 1,500 meters. So as we can see, this is a shallower area, but still an area which has significant depths. The area is underexplored. Very few wells have been drilled so far in the nearby locations outside the block. And in terms of the geological point of view, it's expected that analog discoveries, any possible discoveries, will be analog to the ones that have already been found in Albania and in Italy, which are adjacent to the area. Now, from a hydrocarbon exploration point of view, as we already said, Crete and the Ionian is a frontier area. It's an area that has significant hope to bring a number of reserves. Basically, the reserves of the greater East Med Basin have increased the hope of the industry to find significant finds there. But as we said, the problems are not to be taken lightly, especially the depth. In terms of the latest developments of the Cretan exploration, on the 5th of March, following the call for tenders for the exploration and exploitation of hydrocarbons offshore West Crete and Southwest Crete, a consortium comprising of Total 40% operator, ExxonMobil 40% and Hellenic Petroleum 20%, submitted an offer for the granting of rights for those areas. On 3rd July 2018, by ministerial decision, the consortium, the above aforementioned consortium, was declared as the selected applicant for granting rights of hydrocarbons exploration and production for the 2 offshore blocks of Crete, West Crete, and Southwest Crete. The exploration stage will be up to 8 years, divided into 3 phases, with separate different work programs. In the event of commercial discovery, the production lease will be for 25 years plus 2 5-year extensions, bringing the whole time to up to 35 years. Now, in terms of the Ionian Sea blocks, which are, as I said before, located southwest of the Corfu Island, the consortium of Repsol Exploration SA 50% and being the operator, as well as Hellenic Petroleum another 50%, submitted an offer for the offshore block. This block, this offer is currently in evaluation phase, and it is expected to be concluded in the next few months. Now, Hellenic Petroleum has managed through a number of contracts that came out, and they were won with different consortia, to build up extensive experience in terms of the exploration of the geological fields and the geological strata that pertain to the Greek morphology, the Greek area. So they have developed the techniques that can, with obviously with significant but the minimum cost, allow to take data mainly from the regional 2012 PGS seismic survey and result in the identification of potential exploration targets in the subsurface. In terms of the growth plan of LP, in terms of trying to explore the greater East Med Basin, currently LP is being hampered by 2 things. One is the fact that its investment budget is effectively as much as the company can master currently. This is an investment budget of more than 1 billion euros for the next 5 years, and I think it's already 2 years in terms of the planning phases. And it would be a stretch to add to that investment plan more expansive ideas. The second thing is that currently we're in the process of privatization of LP, and obviously all this, both the plans and the investment plans and the strategic plans of the company will be under review of the new owners as soon as the privatization process finishes in the next few months. Now, moving on to our second subject, which is the role mainly of Energean, which is the Greek company Energean Oil and Gas, which is working with the Israeli government in the Israeli market to explore and help in the production of Israeli gas. So let's see the current activities of that company in Israel. Energean Israel, operator of Karish and Tanin leases, which were awarded to the company due to a high court decision that asked the Israeli government, forced the Israeli government to open up the market to more players in order to avoid monopolies. It has 100% working interest in those fields, and they're world-class assets with 2.4 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and about 13.3 million barrels of light hydrocarbon liquids. Energean has made the final investment decision for the development project in March 2018, after having signed 12 gas sales and purchase agreements for 4.2 BCM in total annually, and securing as well the financing for the project. So it managed to secure the sale of the gas, and it managed to secure the financing for the project and made the final investment decision to go ahead with the investment of those two fields. The Karish main field will be the first asset to be developed in the Karish and Tanin blocks by the group, because it's the largest discovery. It's expected to provide the highest yield of liquid per volume, and it's the closest discovery to the shore. So it has all the advantages to be the first one to start the development. The assets required to develop these fields will be installed and commissioned by early 2021. So the second source of gas supply, which will be provided by Energean, will be operational sometime in 2021 or early 2022. The gas produced by both those fields is intended to supply the rapidly growing domestic Israeli market. And there's a huge demand driver for gas because of there's population growth in Israel, there's an increasing standard of living, a greater use of water desalination, and as well as the electrification of the railway system. So all this, for example, the increased use of air conditioning, the adoption of electric vehicles, and the increasing adoption of CNG for transportation, all these are drivers that drive demand for gas from the Israeli market, and Energean is well poised to help fill that demand together with the main sources that are already in place. In December 2017, Energean was as well successfully awarded 5 new offshore exploration licenses within the Israeli exclusive economic zone. These are the blocks 12, 21, 22, 23, and 31, which are located near the currently producing Tamar gas field, as well as the Karish and Tanin gas fields. And Energean will start moving towards the development, exploration and development of those fields. Now, all those 5 licenses are located in the proven Tamar Sand Play Fairway, and they're considered highly prospective for gas. Additional deeper exploration potential has also been identified with the possibility of thermogenic oil. Now, the next phases, as we can understand, will be a lot of 3D seismic tests, acquisition and reprocessing of existing data sets, and there's going to be a 3-year exploration phase to try to ascertain if there are any potential fields that could be developed. Energean as well is willing to move to acquire and operate the Gaza Marine field, but this acquisition will be conditional to resolution of the ownership disputes between the State of Israel, the Palestinian Authority, and this could help politically as well ease tensions between the different Palestinian authorities and between Israeli and the Palestinians. So in closing, let me say that the East Med region has been attracting more and more significant interest on the global stage from Exxon, Total, Repsol, Edison. We all know the developments as well in Cyprus, in Egypt, in Lebanon, in Jordan. So there's a lot of interest, and it could assist Europe diversify its energy supply.
Trade war rhetoric and risks, late cycle energy price increase, the proliferation of political uncertainty, instability and hostility in a number of oil and gas producing or transiting countries make both Greece, Cypriot, Egyptian and Israeli reserves a pragmatic alternative for European energy supply. The countries in this region are part of a never-changing geopolitical landscape, while at the same time a lot of infrastructure needs to be in place in order to maximize the potential of the region. Thank you very much.